over caffeinated as usual and getting ready for summer.
Beautiful. I love it. Remind
Yeah.
me, where do you live again?
I'm in New Jersey near Philadelphia.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I lived in New York for many years, so I know what the weather
Hmm.
is like.
Yeah. Yeah. How's the weather in Dubai? You're in Dubai?
I'm in Dubai. Yeah, the weather is always good here.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
And how is everything in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, the government's been doing an amazing job of keeping us protected. It's just,
Hmm.
obviously unfortunate that this is happening in the Middle
Yeah.
East, but there's only been I think one death total in the city of
Okay.
Dubai. So it's,
Okay.
minimal, but it's still, not great. Where I think everyone's just like praying for peace to
Yeah.
come soon.
Yes. Well, we're all thinking about everyone over in that area and glad you're doing well. Just taking out note takers, yours and mine will be the only ones here. That's how I
Okay.
usually do things. Um, and we have 12 here so far. I am expecting about 30.
Okay.
Um,
Amazing.
I invited over 100.
Wow.
And if you're cool with their recording going out to all of them and the same, request for um reviews, I'd be happy to do that.
Sure. Yeah, we could do
And
that.
did I send you the page I created for my coach group?
I didn't see that yet.
All right, I'll send it over to you.
Okay.
They're loving your book so much. And
Ah!
and I'll talk about this in front of everybody because it's so rare in 15 years of being a coach that I actually, okay, this is going to change how I teach people to do things, how I
Hmm.
talk about it.
Wow.
And it's so, so practical, so wonderful. And the lens of looking at your connections in those different roles, so,
Yeah.
so good. So good.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome. All right, I'm gonna let them in. Let me get rid of two more note takers. Um, I tend to drop a lot of wisdom bombs, so everybody brings their note takers to my
I
calls.
love that.
How would you like me to introduce you? Author,
Anyway,
speaker, author,
yeah, the
speaker. Okay.
best-selling author of Rich Relationships. Yeah, seven-figure entrepreneur. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Here they come. Good morning, everyone. Hello, hello. Troy with a different background today. Dorothy's here. Kathleen, welcome. Bruce, Michelle, Steve. Awesome to see everybody this morning. And thank you for joining me and the incredible, incomparable author, speaker, seven-figure entrepreneur who I have actually known for well over 10 years. We met through Ron Reich, and now we're in this other community together. Selena Sue, welcome, Selena.
Thank you, Suzanne. So happy to be here. And hello, everyone. Nikki, Kathleen, Laura, Dorothy, Chris, Troy, Steve, Bruce, Chris, Keith, Dharma. I think I got most people. But yes, I'm so excited to be with this group today.
Yes, yes. And I was telling Selena before everybody started hopping in that it's rare that I read a lot. And for a book to change my method, my thinking, and my insights about not only referral partners, but the people that we're hanging out with in our business on a regular basis, the people that we're receiving value from, the people that we are giving value to. So Selena, let's jump in and
Yeah.
really get to the wisdom here in your book. Um, this book was
Mm.
built on real life experience for you, and you used to do something a little different. Do you mind filling us in on where this came from for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I looked back and I actually had the idea for this book in 2007. So, a long time ago, it got birthed in 2025. So, I guess it's like 18 years. But I think, like everything, there's a certain moment when something is meant to be birthed out
Mm.
into the world. And I feel like, with the acceleration of AI, genuine human connection, rich relationships have never been more important.
Right.
And, in my own business, I found that rich relationships are really the things that truly do move the needle. So I think a good place to start is just by reminding everybody of what is a rich relationship. And it's funny because sometimes when I talk to groups, they're like, is rich relationships about finding a rich husband or a rich wife? I'm like, no, it's not about that at all. But what it is about is building those relationships that massively enrich the quality of your business and
Mm.
your life. And so these rich relationships are going to have three primary characteristics. So the first characteristics, your rich relationships, they want to see you win, right? And connected to that, your rich relationships are the exact people who can help you reach your goals and your dreams faster. Your rich relationships are also going to be with people who inspire you to play bigger. You feel like you can be more or do more in their presence, right? And last but not least, your rich relationships create financial abundance for you. So this isn't just any relationship. So it's a relationship that is truly expansive, and creates more for you financially. And so earlier, Suzanne and I, we were kind of talking a bit about the different categories of rich relationships. In the book, we outlined 10 different types. Because it's not just one kind of person. I think sometimes people think, oh,
Mm.
a rich relationship is with someone who has a lot of money or who has a status where they're above me. But there's all kinds of rich relationships. It could be a team member who is by your side, who helps you execute your mission. It could be a mentor who gives you a multi six-figure idea that creates a whole new lucrative revenue stream in your business. It could be a confidant, an executive coach, or a therapist, or a friend who picks you up when you're down in the dumps. It could be a referral partner that sends high ticket clients your way. So there's many different types of rich relationships, but those are the three characteristics you want to look for. And I think what we should do next is what I would love to do is just kind of share my master framework for these rich relationships and have everyone do a self audit where you basically give yourself a score. Okay, so one would be the lowest score and five would be the highest score. So we're going to start with build, right? So the first part of rich relationships is building that rich network. What does build mean? Build means getting clear on what my biggest goals and dreams are, because my rich relationships will be those people who can help me get there. And making sure that I'm connecting with the right people. That means being in the right rooms, the right communities, and establishing those initial connections. So, on a scale of 1 to 5, do you feel like you have that, $100 million network already? Have you built it? Do you already know the people that you need to know to reach your goals and dreams? So, 5, if you're like, okay, I already know the people, you might have to nurture or activate, but I know the people. If it's like my network is solid, but there's definitely more people I need to be meeting, maybe it's around a 3 or possibly a 4. If you're like, I haven't really intentionally built relationships with people where there's that alignment, then maybe it's more of like a 2 or even a 1. So just drop a number in the chat and let's see where you would personally assess yourself on a scale of 1 to 5. All right, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3. Okay, 2. Beautiful. Okay, 4. All right, so the next part is nurture because you can build the network, you can know the right people, but the reality is out of sight, out of mind. If you just meet someone once or twice, that isn't a rich relationship. A real rich relationship involves nurturing, a deepening of the connection, them really understanding you, believing in you, vouching for you, shared experiences. It's something that takes time. But for a lot of us entrepreneurs, nurturing can feel overwhelming because we're like, okay, over my decades of life, I know multiple thousands of people. Just, go onto LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook or, look through my cell phone or think about who I've gone to school with, right? And so oftentimes as entrepreneurs, we've got a to-do list a mile long where we're like, well, how do I even think about nurturing relationships when I still have to like figure out my own stuff? And so I have a bunch of strategies. I'll share a couple of my favorite ones with you today. Um, but I would love for you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5 in terms of how well do you nurture the most important rich relationships in your life, right? Or the ones that you need to have in your life. So staying in touch with people, um, adding value, being remembered, all of that. So let's see, I see 3, 1.5, 2, 0, 2. Okay, beautiful. So this is a little bit less in the build scoring. Okay, great. So then the next phase is activate because you can know the right people, you can give, and show up. But when it comes to your biggest goals and dreams, if nobody is showing up for you, then I would argue that's not truly a rich network. The activation piece is really important. So, what activation means is allowing your network to support you. Sometimes we don't have what feels like a supportive network because we haven't clearly defined our goals and dreams and let other people know. Um, okay, drop a 1 in the chat if you've ever been in this situation where someone says to you, Laura, I would just love to know, like, how can I show up? How can I support you? What do you need help with right now? And, if someone asks you that question, you're like, I don't know. Let me get back to you. Or, oh, don't worry about me. Have you ever said that, like, kind of like pushed it away? Right? Like, okay, I'm seeing a couple ones in the chat. So what happens is, there are people out there, right, that care about us. But if we're telling them like, oh, I don't need help, or I don't know what I need help with, then we're not really able to activate those riches. So step one is really that internal clarity, also feeling that worthiness and that knowing that when we ask for help, we can do it in a way. I'm going to show you exactly how later, where it actually strengthens the relationship. I think a big fear for people is like, if I ask for help, it's going to come across as transactional, that I'm, I don't know, like withdrawing from a relationship. Now the relationship is weaker, right? But to be really good at rich relationships, you have to activate it. So, okay, so now we're going to start again in terms of overall rating for activate. So on a scale of 1 to 5, where would you rate yourself? Are you good at asking for help, getting people to say yes, turning those rich relationships into support? So go ahead and drop your numbers again on the chat. 1, 2, 0, 3, 1, 2, 1. Okay, so yeah, this is the area that is typically the area that's the weakest, that people need the most help with. So I have a really cool framework to share with you there. Um, but I know that a number of you have read the book. I would love for you to just drop in the chat, like, how much have you read? Is it the first chapter? Is it half of the book? Have you completed the book? 3 pages. I just want to kind of get a general idea of where you are. Okay, so Mike's read 3/4. Okay, Suzanne's read 100%, very little. Okay, but a couple of pages at least, 80%. Just gone to the attract section on page 390, 85, 15%. Okay, beautiful. Bruce has not read it yet. Okay, so there's so much I can share with you, but I kind of want to get a sense of what this group needs so I can really personalize what I'm sharing. So what I would love is just to hear from maybe 3 people to get us going. What is an area that you feel stuck, in which you feel stuck when it comes to building, nurturing, or activating? Um, or if there's a specific question you have, I just want to see kind of where those blocks are so we can just like go right there.
I
So would
I love
anybody like,
that.
yeah.
Selena, I would say I know most of the people in this group, and
Yeah,
I would say that I want to hear from them as well. But
yeah.
I want to admit something here because they all think I'm wonderful, and I think
Yeah.
they're wonderful. But I never ask anyone else to help
Okay.
me. I'm great at
Mm,
asking other people, and I know numerous people in this group feel the same way about making the ask, or deepen it, taking those relationships to the next level. So you might know the person, but
hmm
you haven't enriched the relationship to the point where there's reciprocity between the two of you. Maybe you're giving
hmm
value, or even in the position to feel like
Right.
you can ask.
Yeah, and I think that's good to have that self-awareness because if there's someone that
Yeah.
you haven't talked to for 3 years, you can't just come out of the blue and start requesting things, right? So
Mhm.
there's also that kind of understanding. Beautiful. Okay, let's hear from Bruce.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, I feel in this category, for some reason, people are very willing to help me, even when I don't ask. And
Oh,
I mean,
beautiful.
I just had this today with what I'm doing. Two
Yeah,
people, one of them is Suzanne, let me see it, and immediately responded like, okay, here's how you could do it better. And I feel like that's great. But what I would like, if you could, while you're talking, is I've
yeah.
done something to encourage that, but it hasn't been intentional, which is
Hmm.
like a lot of stuff. So if you can like comment on the thing, and maybe you are the things that we do, because I would like to replicate that more. It
Yeah,
happens a lot, but I couldn't tell you why it's happening, which it's a
yeah.
good thing. So
I mean, what
that's
I'll do
all.
is I can share some ideas in a little bit, and then I'll have Suzanne jump in since she knows you personally, and we'll see if any of that resonates. So, okay, that's great. Yeah, how do you become the person that others want to support? That's great. Yeah, because that's even just a sense of being and energy beyond even needing to like put something out there.
Mm.
I love that. Okay, Dharma.
Busy taking notes here. So this is a conversation that I've actually had with Suzanne a couple of times
Mm,
because there is something to become very aware of as we become really good at what it is that we're doing. And
yeah,
as givers and somebody who is not afraid of what do you need? How can I help you? The
yeah.
reciprocity becomes the area of the gray zone of when
Mm-hmm.
does it flip over to the other side? When do I
Mm,
stop giving? When do I say, okay, why am I not seeing this relationship? Because it can take time. You're not necessarily meeting somebody immediately that would be a great referral or a great connection. And
yeah.
I had to find a very, uh, and I will be very transparent. I have even recorded my conversation and sent them to Suzanne to find out what did I do? Where
Hmm.
did I not hold myself in my own authority and question
Mm,
myself and audit what I said and how I would say things,
yeah.
feel that I was willing to just give stuff away for free, to pull it all in and
Mm,
actually having a negotiation yesterday and say, no, I'm
hmm.
not going to do that. What are you going to do in order for me to get that? Well, in order for us to get that, I want to make sure that it is actually favoring you as well. If we're going to build this relationship, what is in it for you as well as what is in it for me? But that's right there to
Mm.
have that courage to say,
Oh my gosh, yes.
what's in it for you and what's in it for me? And we found a space where we were actually in alignment,
Mm.
but it took 2 to 3 conversations. But I was actually bold enough to say, I'm not going to do that. I am
Mm-hmm.
questioning that. You kind of, that is, I'd love to hear from you because
Yeah.
that is the hardest thing for me to discern. How far am I willing to go? How far do I want to give away? How far do I want to just pour out? Because I would give away everything. And I had to have Suzanne say, no, you can't do that. I'm like,
Mm,
okay,
it's so
and
great.
learn that
Yeah.
boundary. And I think we all are in that space of how can I help?
Yeah. Okay, I have so much to say. I'm obsessed with the direction this conversation is going. So thank you for that. Let's hear from Keith, and then I'm gonna dive back into some thoughts. So yeah, take it away, Keith.
Yeah, for sure. Well, first, I just want to say I have found the book amazing and so helpful so
Thank
far.
you.
So thank you for that. My question is for those of us, including me, who we've audited our network and we realize that a lot of people in our network are just not um, they're not in the direction that we want to be going. So we feel in a lot of ways
Yeah.
that we're starting new, and these kind of Dream 100 folks that are on our list, we're like,
Yeah.
okay, how am I going to get there? because there,
Mhm.
it's not like, yeah, it can be a little bit difficult. So I'm curious, any insights and guidance you have for building out kind of the new direction in our with our connections and our network.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that, Keith. So, yeah, the first thing is we need to be very intentional about who we're focusing on when it comes to building rich relationships. Because you can be the best person, the most generous person, the most win-win thinker, but some people only care about themselves. It doesn't matter what you say, what line you use, they're never going to show up for you. They're always going to think about how can I take more? So there's that one piece. Or there's other people that they're just not in alignment. They're not, moving in the same direction. Maybe their, mindset is more limited. Maybe they're just not able to support for whatever reason. And so that's why one of the first things I have people do is create a top 40 list. So that's a tool that we talk about in the book, where based on what your biggest goals and dreams are, and based on your values, right? Who are those rich relationships that you want to focus on? So literally writing down the names of the people, because as humans, we are all equal. But in terms of relationships, not every relationship is equal. Some people are going to care more for you. Some people are going to out of their way to support you without you having to say anything, right? Some people can just do more. Some people feel better to be around, right? And so those are going to be the richest relationships. So you have to get that clarity first. And then the other thing is a word that people have been using a lot here is reciprocal. And it's a very popular word that people use around relationships. I'm personally not a fan of that word, but I'm fine if other people, want to use that word. I just have a slight shift on that. So instead of reciprocity, my focus is more on generosity, breathtaking generosity, right? And so I want to invest in relationships where the relationship has an energy of abundance, but I'm not focused on 50-50. That being said, I'm not focused on also 100% and receiving 0% back. But the idea is, when you know that you are someone who is what I call a rich giver, right? Somebody who pours into other people, but also in a way that is discerning, right? The person that discerns, where is their synergy? Where are their shared values? Is this person a giver too? Right? But when you give to your network consistently with kindness, generosity, and support, that will come back to you. But what we've all seen in life, it's not always from the exact same person, right? And it's not like we need to toss a ball and receive it right back. And that's like, okay, because when it's too tit for tat, then it becomes a transactional relationship. And of course, in business, there are transactions, and so that's fine. But when I'm talking about rich relationships, I'm talking about something higher level than just kind of a basic transaction where you give me money and I give you money back, right? So, for example, there's some mentors like you give them the money and they do the bare minimum. And there's other mentors where you're like, this person's really in it with me. They really care. They go above and beyond, right? So it's just like operating at a higher level. Um, I also think that when we have those conversations that are very transactional, we're talking about baseline things versus when I think about people who have poured into me so generously that's literally taken my breath away. It's like when it comes to their time of need, I would literally do anything for them. Like it's just like 1,000% guaranteed. I'm going to go out of my way, so we want to create kind of that sort of energy with the relationships. But a part of it, is also just like knowing your worth, right? So sometimes, like all of us, myself included, we've entered relationships where you feel like, oh my gosh, this person is such a big deal. How do I get them to like me? How do I get them to want to collaborate with me? How do I get them to want to support me? And there's a saying that the moment you put someone on a pedestal is the moment they start looking down on you. And it's not that they're intending to do that, but rather when we have this like energy that's, even if it's just in the background where it's like, oh my gosh, you're everything, you're the best. What do I have to give? Like, I've got nothing, right? People kind of like feel that, right? And so we just have to remember what we bring to the table, and we have to be very discerning with how we expend our energy. So the first sentence in the book is one rich relationship is more valuable than 100 casual connections, right? So that kind of speaks to the energy management piece. You don't need to be going out of your way, bending over backwards for everybody, doing endless coffee chats and phone calls, but there's going to be a smaller group of people, right? Where the rewards are so great, feels great. And it's intellectually stimulating and it's exciting and there's all this potential. So that's kind of like the first step is discerning who those people are. And then also just knowing that, you're not the kind of person, like your energy is valuable. So you don't just like, Taylor Swift talks about like it's expensive and it's not for everyone, right? So you're going to be very like mindful about who you give that energy to. But when you're more discerning, then you have so much more to give. So I'll just even share a couple of examples. I feel like, I'm like very intentional with how I do things. So I'm all about like giving generously, but something has to be a win-win for me. Otherwise, like I'm not going to say yes to it. So I've had a lot of situations, for example, even with my book launch, um, I did a handful of interviews initially, and then I just stopped doing them because I knew like my big dream was to get 1,000 Amazon reviews. And while podcasts are really powerful, that's really speaking to the masses. And right now, I'm not really looking to speak to the masses. I'm looking to speak to like a higher level entrepreneur that's really going to take these ideas and put them in their business. And just go deeper with people. And so even if someone was like my really good friend, I would still say like, I made the decision I'm actually not doing any podcast interviews in 2026 and possibly 2027 as well. But there is one thing that I'm doing, and the one thing I'm doing is I'm looking to collaborate and speak to groups where I can really go deeper with the people that actually want to read the book, that are excited about these concepts. And then we can have this rich discussion together. And this would be something that, there would be no charge to it because I do, paid speaking a lot. But I'm like, this would just be something where I'm just like connecting and pouring in. But one thing I would love is, if you can invite people to get the book in advance, and then also like have an opportunity for people to leave Amazon reviews, for example. So I'm just like very, very clear with people that that's like the specific thing that I'm looking for. So Dharma, with you, when you're collaborating with people, like you just have to be very clear, like whether it's like all these ideas are great. And I just wanted to share what's the thing that like really like gets me most excited, what makes most sense for my business, like this is the thing, right? And you just like communicate it with people again and again and again. And it's like that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about all these other things. We're talking about this thing. So I found that that has really moved the needle in a big way. And I think people also really respect it and appreciate when people like give you that clarity. I've also had situations, so I grew my business through affiliate partnerships. So I had a program for many years called Impacting Millions, and I helped entrepreneurs get publicity. And over 7 years, we had 400 different people promote the course, from top entrepreneurs to affiliates and things like that. And there were some people that wanted to approach it in a more transactional way, which I think is okay sometimes, and there were some cases where I would just like I would always be upfront, but I would just say like, hey, I really appreciate you sharing with me that you have this launch coming up and like your vision of the way that we would work together. With Impacting Millions, we have typically about 200 affiliates per launch. And I've really designed it in a way that like I want people to partner with me on this launch because it's something that's going to benefit their audience and where it's a good additional revenue stream for them. So I just wanted to be upfront that like can't guarantee that I would be able to reciprocate or support you in that exact way. But one of the things that we do is I'm always here to support my affiliates through connections, through our affiliate prizes, and just other ways. But I just wanted to be upfront because I didn't want to, misrepresent what this opportunity is. And I find that in the industry, a lot of people will like dangle a carrot and pretend that, oh, if you do this for me, then I'll do that. But then when it's their turn, they just disappear. And I just stop that conversation like immediately. But I have had a couple people where like I can think of two people where we did do like a reciprocal thing and they had really, big launches and it just kind of made sense. And I remember leading up to the launch, there was a webinar and this person was like a massive player, probably had like I don't know, I would have thought like at least 50,000 people on the email list. And he maybe got in like 30 people to opt into the launch. And let's say the launch had like a 3% conversion, we need at least 100 people for 3 sales, right? And I have other affiliates maybe bringing in like 500 people for the launch or 1,000. And so this was someone where we had like established kind of a reciprocal thing. So then, I just like sent this person a voice note and I was like, hey, let me just make up a name, but like, hey, James, like, first of all, I just want to thank you so much for being a part of the launch. I saw that you mailed, which is amazing. I'm also really excited for your launch coming up in a couple months. I just want to let you know, in case you didn't, that right now we have 30 opt-ins, which I really appreciate. And I know that in order to generate a meaningful number of sales, we're going to need a lot more than that. And so we have a window of 5 more days before we move into cart open. So, I want to feel like really good about, fully showing up to support you. And I want to feel that, you've also had the opportunity to do that. So I want to let you know we have 5 more days. And I would love to know, like, what can you do before now and then so we can really create this win-win together. And, and if I don't hear back, I'm going to text him and I'm just going to be like straight, like, hey, this is what I see. This is what I need. I'm not just going to like wait or huff and puff and get like angry about it. So I think there's something about an energy where it's like, hey, I'm gonna, I don't know if it's call someone out on it, but I'm going to like address the issue at hand. And then people just see like you're not someone that they can just like, people have respect for that. So I hope that's helpful. I know I went in a few different directions, but I would love to actually hear from Dharma quickly. Like, how is that landing?
What you're saying is exactly what I did yesterday.
Amazing. That's
As,
what you did.
because I'm launching a book.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, so if I wait until this time, we can do it. And then how will this work out over here? And then building the momentum up to that point would let them have access to some of my connections that could benefit from what it is that they're doing. So it becomes a give and take until the
Mhm.
moment when I'm actually launching the book. And then it is still, I don't know, it's almost, I feel like I'm coming out on the more of the winning side of it. But we're both getting a testimonial and we're both benefiting from each other's connections and each other's
Yeah,
long term. Short,
exactly.
I am winning more, but short term, it is more, they are gaining more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, which I think is fine because for a rich relationship, you're really looking at a long-term horizon. It's not just what's happening in this moment, this month. It's where will the relationship go 2 years from now, in some cases, even 10 years from now. So that's completely fine. And it's also good that you're cognizant where you're like, okay, I'm not looking to just like take so much more than I give. Like I'm aware and, I want everyone to win.
Yeah, that was my main intention because I don't want to your point, is that short term, if it's more in their, how should I put it, winning pool, they're more intentional on wanting to stick around
Yeah.
because I am thinking long term. I am still going to get it long term. That's not going to change. Short term, if they gain more, they're more inclined to want to stick around.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's how I did it.
Yeah. Because
Maybe
I know.
perceived as a little bit manipulative, but I'm like, no, this is my goal and what's in it for you. Because honestly, to your point, they don't really care about me.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't use the word manipulative. I would just say it's, you're being purposeful and intentional, right? And you're
Yes.
being thoughtful. So,
Thank you.
then there's nothing wrong with that. And yeah, people care generally, the person they care most about is themselves. And they also want to feel safe in a relationship. And so if they feel like someone truly has their back and is thinking of them, and even if you're like speaking up and just being like, hey, I just wanted to acknowledge how much you have given me and that it hasn't gone unnoticed. It's really meaningful to me. I really see like a long-term horizon with our relationship. And, I definitely would love to engage in more conversations about how I can support you further. That I think that would go a long way. So yeah, no, I think that that's fine. But yeah, thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I would love to hear from Michelle.
Yeah, Michelle has her hand up, and then we can go to Laura.
Okay, perfect.
Hi, Selena. Thank you so much for coming and joining us today. This is amazing. My question was, when I look at partnering with other people, I find
Yeah.
for me, I am very influenced by other people's energies. So when I
Mm,
feel like the energy is a win, like when we interact and I leave
yeah.
the interaction and the energy was amazing, I'm wondering if you have a way that you discern um, what would be also a win-win before taking the relationship too intentionally, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that energy is important. So it's good that you pick up on that. It's not just about like logically, does this make sense? But the other thing that I found is that it really takes time to get to know someone. There's a lot of people that can have good energy on one phone call or, good energy in the beginning, but there's also a lot of people that suck at follow through. And there are people that they'll say they do something, but then all of a sudden when it comes time, they ghost, you know. I mean, that's the most common. Yeah, I've even found like even for the Rich Relationships book launch, we had 200 people join the book launch team, over 200, and 200 said they would leave reviews. 100 left reviews, which is great, like 50%. I'm so grateful. But 100 other people that had committed to it didn't do it, you know? And we would have to, we would send emails. So we would send like a customized email, just be like, hey, again, thank you so much for joining the book launch team. It truly means the world for you to support me with my life's work. When you had signed up, you had said that you were a yes to an Amazon review. That truly means the world to me. Um, let me know if you're still in. I would love to make it super simple for you. I can send over, a one pager with the book's big ideas, give you a chat GPT prompt, things like that. And that did get some more, but there was a lot of people that just didn't. And sometimes I'd had to follow up with people like 5 times. And maybe they finally do it. Like, oh my gosh, I'm just sorry. I've just been so busy. But it really just takes 5 minutes of focus to actually get it done, you know? So I'm just using that example because that's just like people in general, right? Like a lot of people um, mean well and they do intend to do things, but there is definitely a meaningful percentage that don't follow through. And so you just have to observe people over time. Like I think within my network, there's certain people where I'm just like, this person, like if they say they're going to do it, it's just like 1,000% given it's happened. I don't have to question it. I don't have to worry about it. It's done, right? Their word is their word, right? And I'm the same way. And there's other people I know that they're high energy and fun, but they're also a little bit lazy and they're not going to go out of their way to do anything. And their word is not their word. You know what I mean? So I would say that that's one of the first things to pay attention to. And then in terms of how to make things win-win, um, there's two things. One is like really putting yourself in their shoes and thinking about like if I was them, what would make this a hell yes for me? And then it's also not only making assumptions, but also asking them like, you know, yeah, what would make this really meaningful for you? I want you to feel really excited about this. So just different questions to get clearer on how you can move the needle for them.
Perfect. Thank you so much. When you said that, it actually brought me back to something that is my own discernment, that is behavior over intention. So thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to answer a question from Laura and then Chris, and then I'm going to go into the give formula because that's going to help everyone with activation. And then I have something else. Okay, so Laura.
It was kind of a comment and kind of a question.
Yeah.
Dharma had said she doesn't want to take too much and all of that, but I have found in my personal things is I can't tell how things really affect the other person.
Mm,
Suzanne has offered me little tidbits that people would not necessarily feel that that was a large gift or a large thing, and it has moved me in places I never thought I would be able to get. So don't
wow.
the thing that I could say is don't ever think that what you're giving isn't enough because you don't know how that other party is
Mm,
receiving.
that's a good point.
So,
Yeah.
sorry.
And I think, Laura, that's so great. Another thing that just comes to mind is um, I think that the biggest give back that we can give to the person that supported us is just letting them know how much we've appreciated them. Because I think when give, and I imagine a lot of you in this room are mentors of some sort and support people in different ways. And even outside of a paid capacity, you're just, being a helpful person, right? When you think about the people that you help, it's not because like, okay, now I'm waiting for them to do this thing for me. It's more like you just feel excited to make a difference in their life. And relieving them of stress, making their life easier, opening up an opportunity for them, that's what brings you joy. And so when the other person circles back and lets you know, hey, like this just made such a massive difference in my life. I don't know if you even realize the impact, like that's the biggest gift. So that's something that we should all, do an even better job of, not just think it in our head, not just tell our friend, but like go back and tell that person. And when it comes to saying thank you, when it's something really significant, I actually try to say thank you 3 times. So the person really hears it and receives it, because sometimes they don't even hear it the first time. But really just like making sure they understand, like, hey, this was such a big deal. And I just want you to know that I'm so truly grateful, and this didn't go unnoticed. All right, Chris.
Well, perhaps I can help you with Amazon. I have an experience with Amazon. I
Oh,
bought a book in a
yeah.
local bookstore here. I read it. I
Okay.
made a very good review from it. And
Okay.
then I want to publish it on Amazon. That doesn't go. When you haven't bought the book at Amazon, Amazon refuses it. I couldn't do anything. Perhaps
Oh,
that could
yeah.
be a reason that you don't have
Yeah.
all the reviews. Yeah.
That's a
So,
good point. So I found a workaround for that because Amazon is wary of bots writing fake reviews. And so obviously if it's a verified review, when
yeah.
someone's purchased it, that helps. But sometimes someone gifted us a book. So if you take a picture of the book, just pull out your iPhone, take a
Yeah.
picture, and you upload it with your review, it's much more likely to be published.
Ah, that's good to know. All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
a great comment. Yeah. Okay, well, what I would love to do is go into the give formula because this is my number one tool for activation. Okay, first we got to get clear on what we want, what we need, but then we need to know how to communicate that with other people. So, give, Give. So, G stands for gratitude. So, when you're asking your rich relationships for something, you want to begin with appreciation and acknowledgement. So, I'm going to give you an example. This is what I did for my book launch, right? For rich relationships. So, I would say something like, hey Diana, first of all, I just want to thank you for just being one of my biggest supporters with this book launch. Like your encouragement, your cheerleading just has really meant the world to me. And so thank you. Um, the next part is I. So I stands for inspire. So how do we inspire someone else? We inspire them by sharing our biggest goals and dreams with them. So next I would say something like, so Diana, the thing, my biggest goal and dream for this book is for it to hit the USA Today bestsellers list. And the reason why it's so important is because this having that recognition is really going to propel the book to a new level. And one of my favorite quotes is this idea that the mind, once stretched by a new idea, never returns to its original dimensions. And I really feel that for the right people, this book is like literally going to change the trajectory of their business and life. It's that powerful. So I really just want to get this into more people's hands and to be on the USA Today bestsellers list. So I shared, right? I inspired them with my big vision. Then we go into V. So V is very specific. So that's letting people know exactly what they can do to help you. What's the number one thing? Not 5 things they can do. What's one thing that moves a needle? So then I would say, so here's the thing, to get on the USA Today's bestsellers list, I would need to get at least 4,000 books sold between pre-launch and launch week. Um, and here's the thing, I'm not going to be able to sell 4,000 books on my own. The only way that I'm going to be able to do that is to lean on my closest friends and colleagues to see if they're willing to support me. So specifically, I would love to know if you might be willing to buy 20 copies of my book. That would be $500 and gift it to friends, clients, team members. That would truly mean the world to me. So that's V. And then we have E, which is easy out. And that stands for really just having this energy that's not demanding, and letting them know that the relationship is intact no matter what. So you could end it by saying, thanks for considering the idea, right? That light energy, not demanding. Thanks for considering the idea. And either way, thank you so much. You've just been one of my greatest supporters, and it's really meant the world to me. So GIVE. So when you approach someone with gratitude, acknowledging them, appreciating them, and you open up your heart and you share your big vision and dream, then you let them know the one thing that could move the needle. But then you also end with, hey, I'm not expecting this, but I wanted to share this with you. And if it feels good, I would be so grateful for your support, right? Thank you for considering it. It's not going to hurt your relationship. They're not going to feel that you're being a transactional person. It's actually going to strengthen your relationship, even if they say no. So V stands for being very specific. So that is basically the formula for reaching out to people and asking them to help, right? When you come from a place of gratitude, when you come from a place of humility, when you come from a place of inspiration, it's going to make someone feel like they're a part of your journey. And if they can help you, they will. So I hope that was helpful for people. Did you guys like the GIVE? Do you see yourself using it? Okay, amazing. I love that. Well, we have time for a couple more questions, but I also did want to share. And thank you again, Suzanne, for this opportunity for me to, share about the book and also invite people to write Amazon reviews if they would like to support the book. And in terms of Amazon reviews, the reason why it's so important is once a book is out there, the number one thing that people do is they go into Amazon, right? And they put the book's name in. And the first thing they do is they look at how many reviews it has. If a book has like a small number of reviews, it's just seen as not a big deal. If it has a lot of reviews, it's like, oh, wow, people are talking about it. People are buying it. People are believing in it. It's like the ultimate form of social proof. And it's just been shown that once you hit 1,000 reviews, all of a sudden the book just starts selling in a new way on its own. And people have told me that this book is basically a $2,000 course in a $20 book format. I gave it all away. It's not like, oh, you need to do this other thing or buy this super high-end thing in order to get the goods. I'm like, I'm just going to give it away. Because I really feel like it can change people's lives. And so the number one thing that you could do to help me would be to leave an Amazon review if you're willing. So Suzanne created this document where you could put your review in. What I invite people to do is actually there in the doc, there's also a link where you can go. It's like the exact place to leave a review. If you, someone gave you the book or you bought it from a bookstore, just take your phone and take a picture of the book. And then there's also a ChatGPT prompt in there, which is basically like, hey, can you help me write an original Amazon review for Selena Sue's book, Rich Relationships? Here are some things I enjoyed about it, right? So for you, think about right now, what is something that you have enjoyed, in reading the book? Is it the build, nurture, activate framework? Is it about being a rich giver and, focusing more from a place of relaxed abundance versus transaction and scarcity? Is it the give formula on how to activate your rich relationships? Is it the idea of less is more and that one rich relationship is more valuable than 100 casual connections? So just think of like one thing that really resonates with you. Like literally the review can be 2 sentences. But we wanted to give people some time to do that now. And additionally, if anybody, actually, Suzanne, is there anything that you want to share around this?
No, I put the link in the chat. And I'll share with everyone in the group. I made a worksheet based on your book, and Selena, I'll share it with you
Oh
as
yeah, I'd love
well.
to see.
And it
Yeah.
was so everyone that was reading the book in book club could actually do all the things that are in your appendices, um, creating that plan, rather than,
Mhm.
writing it in the book.
Yeah.
I actually created a worksheet for them to do that. And so
Mm.
I think the most important part of the book is actually doing it. The
Yeah.
concepts, yeah, they're wonderful, but if you don't take a pen and a piece of paper or your keyboard and actually think about people in this way. So for me, I've been networking for 30 some years building
Mm.
networks of people. But the way you describe the different types of people that you need in your network, from
Mm-hmm.
the mentor to the rock star client to the super fan to the team
Mm-hmm.
member, it activated something in me about thinking in different ways about people. And I just found it so, so helpful, because it doesn't all have to be influencers that you go out and build a relationship with. Because
Mm.
sometimes when you have a smaller list and a smaller following online, that feels difficult, right? To, meet somebody who, I want to go meet Gary Vee and provide value to him. Well, good luck getting a meeting, right? Um, and I just saw it as such an opportunity to start thinking about people in different ways, getting them talking
Mm.
about you in rooms you're not in.
Yeah, absolutely. Like seeing the value in
Mhm.
some of the relationships that are already in our own backyard
Yes.
and nurturing them and cultivating them, like the team member, like the star client, like the
Hmm.
super fan, right? It's not just
Hmm.
people that we have to like work so hard to get their attention. They're people that are already showing up and like they love our work and they want to see us win. How do
Hmm.
we deepen, right, and solidify that relationship?
Yes.
I love that takeaway. Um, and yeah, if you, so when you write the review, just take a screenshot before you hit submit and put it in the document. And if you have submitted, just, feel free to let us know in the chat. And I'm so extremely grateful. Like I said, I basically am not doing a single podcast interview. I've said no to pretty much everything. And the only thing I'm doing is like these sessions where I can go deeper and where people feel like, okay, I really feel like
Yeah.
I can, vouch for the book because I truly do understand the ideas in the book.
Well, Selena, something I do at the end of lots of different sessions that I put on is do a rapid fire around the room, the biggest takeaway. And
Mm,
I just have found this, and not only for my own work, but anybody else's work that we are appreciating those takeaways. Of course, your note taker will pick them up, and it's so much gold in real people that have read the book, just giving a takeaway. So if you're open to that, I'd love to do that for you.
oh, I love that. Yeah.
Dharma, did you have a question?
I did. I was trying to paste my screenshots to the document that you shared, but I'm not
Mm-hmm.
able to drop it.
Mm,
Do you have to change
Uh,
the settings on it maybe?
yeah, I think you need to give us access, request
yeah,
edit access,
Or
because I
edit? Yeah.
can't drop it in there.
there you go. Done.
Perfect.
All right, let's go around the room for Selena and Chris. Give us your biggest takeaway from the conversation or the book.
I love the give framework.
Give framework. Awesome. And the other Chris from all the way
Um, I
from
love
across the
also the
pond.
GIF framework, and I can use it today to do it in my DMs. That's
Oh,
perfect
okay.
for in a
Great.
DM. Yeah. Okay, thank
Wonderful.
you.
Wonderful. Let's go to Keith. What's your takeaway today?
Yeah, so for me, definitely the give framework, but the I in particular, where you're really sharing that influence, right? And what it really means to you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is honestly, I think that's second level for me, right? Because if you don't share
Mm-hmm.
that context, then people don't really understand the impact that that one small action can take. So that was my biggest takeaway.
Mm. I love that.
Love
Yeah.
it. Love it.
Mm.
Nikki, how about you?
Thank you so much, Selena. This has been awesome. I also love the give framework, and something that spoke to me was how I have a hard time asking for help. So much so that
Mm.
on a one-to-one connection call, I almost dislike when the person says, "How can I help you? What can I do for you?" It makes me
Ooh.
uncomfortable. But
Yeah.
the V in the give, very specific. You gave me the idea. I can just ask them to leave me a LinkedIn recommendation because I know that
Mm.
when you get to 50, LinkedIn starts to show your
Ooh,
posts
that's
more.
good.
So totally going to do the give framework. And thank you for making this super tangible, something we can implement right away, and something that feels sustainable. So I'm excited to read the rest of the book.
Yeah. I like that, Nikki. I just want to kind of add to that because sometimes if we've met someone for the first time, it might be like, well, it's not really appropriate to just be like, well, send clients my way. They don't know really who I am yet and trust hasn't been built. And so in terms of what we want to ask for, you might want to have a couple of different things on in our pocket. And depending on the kind of the depth of the relationship, then we'll decide like what to share, what would be appropriate. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Love it. Dorothy, how about you take away from today? And then I'll come to you, Kathleen.
Well, I certainly, as with the others, loved the idea of the gift, as you put it, the give and the acronym and all the things that went with that. One of the points you made so clearly was how important it is to be absolutely clear, have such great clarity on what we are doing, what we are offering, and who we are. And, just hearing the resonance of that continuously in many ways, you said it without even saying it throughout this talk was really such a gift, that being so clear about what you're doing and what you offer allows you to have the ability to say to others, this is the way in which you could help. And this is also the way in which I could help you. So please, when you need, do feel free to give me a call.
Oh, I love that. So good.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Dorothy.
Love it. Laura, how about you?
Oh, and Kathleen as well.
Oh, yeah. Kathleen. Let's go, Kathleen, and then back to Laura. Sorry.
Okay. Thanks for this, and Selena. And the biggest takeaway from the book so far is a revitalization of who's already in my network. It's like I know people.
Yeah.
Now, so the next step is really having that specific ask, really, and the nurturing, of course, but for which I was one of the zeros. But yeah, so it's, raise the bar, and it's really revitalizing and having me rethink my current networks and connections. Because I know there's $1 million in there.
Yes, yeah. When I say $1 million network, it doesn't mean like $1 million this year. It might mean like over the course of 10 years, your network has the ability to bring $100,000 more into your business, whether it's connections, it's ideas, it's support. So yeah, I love that.
Great job, Kathleen. Mike, how about you?
Selena, my copy was a gift.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I started reading this, and I'm a slow reader. I take my highlighter. I was on chapter three types of givers, and I'd already ordered copies for others. That gives you an idea. Early, it just really made a huge difference. So what a treat to be spending time with you today.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I'm so moved by that. I mean, that's the ultimate endorsement. When someone's like, you got to read this book, I'm actually just gonna like send it to you. So yeah.
Love it. Laura, let's go to you.
Thank you very much for your time and your book. I really, the very specific in the give was the takeaway for me. I need to get more specific when I ask for things, and that really hit home for me. So thank you very much. And one of my comments for you is consider seeing if you could do it in audio book form. A lot of people have trouble, including me. I'm also I have aphasia, so reading or hearing it is better than physically reading it. And so it's just one of those takeaways for me.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's definitely on the list for sure.
And I'm going to model something from the book. Selena, if you need someone who does incredible audio books, you let me know. I'll make the connection.
Okay, amazing. Beautiful.
Yes. Bruce, let's go to you.
Yeah, the timing of this could not be more perfect. I finished something and I'm reevaluating the people I send it to. So for me, the activation and all that discussion And I just wanted to share from what Nikki said, what I had to learn was if for others to allow you to help them, you have to let other people help you because they just get uncomfortable. If they want to help you back and you never let them, they get uncomfortable and it affects it. So really good information. And so thank you.
Beautiful.
Wonderful.
One other thing I wanted to offer is if any of you have a question later that you didn't have a chance to share or you're feeling stuck, just feel free to send me a voice note. Maybe, I don't know, Suzanne, if you could go onto my Instagram and just drop my Instagram handle, but I would love to stay connected. And yeah, don't be a stranger. Like, this is my favorite thing to talk about. So if you're stuck, just send me a voice note. I'll send you a voice note back. But I'm so excited, like as Suzanne said, for you to bring this into your business and life. Like, I don't want this just to be theory. But the good news is everything in the book is so like actionable and step by step. So you literally cannot fail if you follow the steps in the book. Oh, and let's hear from Michelle quickly.
Thank you so much. The one thing that I found for me, of course, the GIVE framework was amazing, but the one thing that stood out for me was how you mentioned having an event within an event. Because for me, I really love to speak with people on a deeper level. Like the idle chit chats about weather, that's not my style. I want to get in and find like what lights you up, what's challenging you, and make the connections deeper. So when you said, create an event within an event, I thought, that really resonated with me.
That's so great. Yeah. So for everyone else, if you haven't read that part, maybe you're going to a big conference and there's 200 people there. Well, you can be a leader by maybe, organizing breakfast, getting a table of 6. And as you meet people at the event, being like, hey, do you want to come to this breakfast I'm doing tomorrow and meet some other great people in my network? So yeah. And actually another thing I want to share quickly related to that, because, one of the ways that we nurture our rich relationships are by creating gatherings. My favorite technique for this is the bring a friend technique. So for everyone here, I wanted you to think about something that you already love doing, right? Do you love fishing? Do you love going on hikes? Are you a spa lover? Do you love exploring new restaurants, right? So do the things you love and then invite other people. It doesn't have to be a big group. It could be you and 2 friends are going on a Saturday morning hike. It could be once a month you try a new restaurant in the city and you always have a table of 4 and 3 people come with you, right? Or maybe, there's a movie you want to check out and you're bringing other people along. If you can make something recurring, that's even more powerful because they're like, oh, I can't make, that hike or that dinner. It's like, well, we do them every month. So come to the next one. So that's a really powerful way to nurture the relationships and pour into them more because now they're getting to meet new people as well.
Love that. Dharma, go ahead.
Well, there's so many things that I could say that stood out for me, but one of the hidden things that I have picked up from your book is that you're addressing one of the things that people pleasers try to do all the time. And you're actually offering very tangible tools that can be used to avoid losing ourselves in the transaction. And I'm asking my clients to read the book because using your book to emphasize what is trying to be communicated as a mentor, as a coach, as an advisor, we can say a lot of different things, but it's not always that easy for the person on the other side to really truly hear what is being communicated. And sometimes using, such as your book, say, well, read this book because it's not just about finding a rich husband. You will lose your friendships. When you change, you will lose your circle because you outgrow the relationship. That's what I took from your book.
Yeah, absolutely. Not every relationship is a rich relationship. And when you become aware, one of the things that I have people do at my events is an alignment inventory, right? And so looking at, is this a relationship where the person wants to see me win? Is this a relationship that is energizing for me? Does it feel good? and then is this a relationship that drains me? Because a relationship could both energize you and drain you. It could be someone that's like you're on this high and then there's all these problems as well, right? But when you really audit your relationships, you start to realize maybe some people shouldn't be in my innermost circles. It's actually not healthy for me.
Yeah.
That's so powerful. Well, amazing. Well, thank you again, Suzanne. This was so magical.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Thank you for the time. Selena's coming all the way from Dubai today,
Yes.
and she recently moved there, which was very exciting to watch
Yeah.
your move. So congratulations on that. And she's in warm weather now all the time,
Yes.
which I'm totally jealous. So thank you. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for your amazing, amazing book. I'm gonna take a picture and talk about this
Oh,
on
yeah.
social media.
Oh,
And
cool.
anybody that was here today, if you take a picture with the book and tag me, I will tag Selena
Oh,
and
good. Yeah.
just to say like thank you and give her a little extra traction for this.
Yeah, no, that makes a big difference because everyone that
Mhm.
follows you on social media is someone who, is connected to you, looks up to you. And so if they see like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm reading this book, they're like, oh, what's that book? Maybe
Mhm.
I should order on Amazon. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you
You're
for being a
welcome.
giver in my life. And
Yeah.
Kathleen, Michelle, Laura, Nikki, Dharma, Troy, so happy we got to connect today. And
Yeah.
yeah, let's stay connected and feel free to reach out to me anytime on
Yes.
Instagram. Okay,
Yeah,
take
I
care,
shared your
everyone.
Instagram in the chat. So make sure you save the chat. Lots of good stuff in there. Thanks again.
Beautiful.
Have a great day,
Okay.
everyone.
All right. See you. Bye.